As a matter of fact, there's a well-known family law judge in Los Angeles. I think he's retired now. But he once told me and another attorney, look, don't tell me about the law. I know the law. What you need to focus on are the facts and the evidence. And, I started thinking about that. And, this gentleman was an expert in family law, no doubt. He did a lot of these seminars and webinars and stuff. I think he wrote one of the books, not CED, but the Reddit Group Guide. He was one of the, first authors of that. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember they used to have three judges called the Three Amigos?
Yes, I attended those.
Right, he was one of those guys. And no doubt these three guys were flat out experts in the law. And, I always thought about that and thinking, when I first heard that, I didn't understand it. Like, I need to tell you what the law is, Judge. That's how I used to think, right?
Right.
And here I am, a 5-year lawyer trying to tell a 30-year judge what the law is. I mean, I think about it now and it's just, it's ridiculous. Like, how could I have been so, stupid to think that I knew more than the judge? But I used to think that way. And, I see that with young attorneys all the time. And, it's just like Irving Younger said, it's something that you can't explain to somebody until you have the experience. Now, it's the same with other professions, other trades, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I remember once I was going to get my car fixed, and I overheard the guy who was writing up my car saying to another guy, they didn't know I was listening, saying to another guy, this is the problem with the engine, blah, blah, blah. You need to have so-and-so work on it because he has more experience than the other guy. He says, don't give this job to the other guy. The guy's too young, too new in the business. So after the car is, repaired and I pick it up at the dealership, I asked the woman at the cash register or the, where you pay for the car, I said, hey, so-and-so, is he new to the company? She said, no, he's been here 6 years. But my service reps thought that was
new,
not enough time to handle a particular situation.
I agree.
And but when you're that 6-year guy, you think that you know as much as the 25-year guy, and it's not true.
It's really bad on me. I do that all the time. I look at the other side's bar number to see how new they are. I do that all the time.
I used to do that all the time, and then I got to the point, so when you go into court or when you talk to them, just on the phone, right away.
True.
Things that they say, things that they do, you just know.
The way they say it.
Right.
The way, it's just like they're full of huff and puffs. You can tell, I'm a lawyer. I represent that. When you talk to someone who's seasoned, you get to talk to them. Honestly, I love my old-timer opposing counsels. We exchange cell phone number because if we come up with something that we can help, we call each other.
Right.
And I have a lot of opposing counsel's friends.
Do you still belong to a family law study group?
Yes.
Do you guys like meet once a month or something?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
belong to the one with Wachowski's firm,
Uh,
accounting firm, White
yes.
Zuckerman?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
know Wachowski?
Yes.
He and I were CPAs together at an accounting firm when we were both, out of college.
Oh, wow.
And I remember him, I said, yeah, he approached me, he says, oh, I heard you're leaving. And I said, yeah, I'm going to law school. He says, oh, okay. He says, I'm leaving the firm too. I'm going to work at and start a forensic accounting firm.
Mm.
And I'm like, forensic accounting firm? What the hell are you talking about? What is that? That doesn't meet with the AICPA and the generally accepted accounting standards and all of that. And he says, oh no, he goes, if you become a divorce attorney, you'll be hiring me in my firm.
And he wasn't joking.
Right. Years later, he wasn't joking.
Yeah.
And another guy that we used to work with, I think he may have passed away, a guy named Dave Seamus, who used to work at the Wachowski, the White Zuckerman accounting firm, worked for Fred or worked with Fred in doing forensic accounting.
They have my long names. I can't get to,
Right.
They're just, but they're close by here. Their offices here around my house.
What, in the San Fernando Valley someplace, right?
Yes, they're in Encino. They're in Encino.
Go ahead. You use who?
Before it was, we normally gathered at the restaurant, and
right.
Yeah, but now it's all on Zoom. I hope we get back. I hope we get back to that human contact.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does. So before we end this evening, I wanted to talk about one more type of RFO, and that is the RFO or part of an RFO for attorney's fees. Like, what's that all about? Is that Family Code section, what, 2030 or? I may be wrong on the number, but there's a provision about attorney's fees. Now, in this country, we follow the English common law. Everybody pays their own attorney's fees, except for in certain situations provided by statute, by law. And there's something in the Family Code about that. What is it?
It's equal playing field. That's what it is. There are situations that one party has been the breadwinner, the other party is at home, or not the breadwinner. Let's just call it that. And if the divorce happens, the court would want to see both sides being assisted by legal representative. Just because one person has been in position of the money doesn't mean to shortchange the other side. So the court normally allows or orders one side to pay some money to the other side so the other side could have access to funds to retain counsel. Otherwise, the equilibrium will not be there. It's just
so. How do you get attorney's fees?
Just like child support, spousal support, when you file those forms and declaration, you file your income and expense declaration. So the judge gets to look at it. Your earning, how much cash flow you have available, where are the funds? Is there an account that has money in it? Is your income higher than the other side? How much, the source, the judge will look at the source. And another thing that the judge looks at, okay, Mr. Davis, you hired an attorney, you're paying $800 an hour for your attorney, you can pay some money to the other side so she can have an attorney also, because improper cannot.
Well, what's the tipping factor where the judge says, okay, Mr. Davis, you have to pay part of your wife's attorney's fees? I mean, when does that become an issue? Do I have to make $10,000 more than her a year, 5,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 or millions?
Well, I don't know where they put their guideline, whether it's at 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000, but the judge will look at how much money is in the account, how much stock you have that you can easily sell, how much have you paid your attorney, and how much the other side is asking. If I'm in a situation that the other side makes $2,500 a month, and the lifestyle shows $2,500 a month, I file my paper saying I want $50,000 in attorney's fees, I know I'm not going to get it because it's just not there. But if my client goes in there and says, look, he paid $5,000 out of our joint account for his own attorney's fees, so there is enough funds in that joint account, allow me to take 5,000, and the funds are there, then the judge will give it, and even more if there is. So it all depends if it's there and if it's available, or the access to it is easy without penalties, the judge will award it, yes.
Now, you're mentioning things that are usually show up on the income and expense declaration.
Yes.
What if a party decides to underestimate assets and income? So the judge, when in reality I'm making $1 million a year, but I put on my income and expense declaration, I'm making $50,000 a year. What happens then?
On the income and expense declaration, one of the requirements on top of the second page, it says, produce your paycheck stubs and bring with you your tax returns. So